Well, you don't have to be a meteorologist to get excited after watching this satellite imagery. I'm Northeast Weather WX's forecaster Alex, and we have two storm threats coming up. We have one on Wednesday, not going to be a big one, and we have one on Thursday, over the weekend, I should say, and it could be bigger. But before we get to that, we have an ominous look right now on the satellite. Look at all this moisture. This is unbelievable. From the Canadian Maritimes all the way, you can't really see Mexico here, but all the way from Canadian Maritimes to Mexico. Cold front brought a very strong storm headed to Florida. Heavy rain, gusty winds, cold air behind it. Florida Panhandle is getting chilly for their standards. I would love to be there right now. I'm tired of this cold. Back where I am in this area of the country. Anyway, we have energy across Minnesota right now. Up here, this will dip down. It shoot up in the northeast quickly, and as it does, expect significant snowfall across Maine tomorrow night. I'm worried about Maine, but I'm also worried about eastern Pennsylvania for quick thumping in this area. That could drop a quick 1 to 3 inches. I'll get to that right now as I show you the 500 millibar, and I always like to show that before a storm. Here we go. Let's get the writing out. This is, I believe, Wednesday night. Notice how we have a negative tilt in the trough. And this is when we'll start to get some lifting down the atmosphere across western Pennsylvania up to upstate New York, all the way down to eastern Ohio, eastern Kentucky, and up to West Virginia. So this area, watch out. Watch out. I think there could be a brief period, not brief, about a couple hours of thumping, 2 to 3 hours, and it could be snowing hard there in those areas. Heavy snow showers could dump 1 to 3 inches, locally higher in some areas if it thumps hard enough for a long period of time. Also, notice how we have energy coming in across New Jersey, Virginia. Snow showers are going to break out there as well. Not as heavy as we're going to see in this area of the country. Not as heavy as we're going to see in this area. But nevertheless, there will be snow squalls breaking out across eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So watch out. That will be for the evening commute on Wednesday. So that could drop a good in this area. And a good coating to an inch. Locally 2 inches if the snow squall is big enough and it's very intense. And it's slow moving, but I really don't think there's going to be areas of 2 inches. Maybe a quick inch could fall, a quick half inch. Alright, so let's move in time now. I want to talk about the next storm threat, which would be over the weekend. This is Friday. I don't want Friday. Alright, this is Sunday. Alright. First of all, notice how this is everything on this is far west. It's too far west. And I think there will be a cutter. It's in a cut up like this. Let's see, the storm trying to come down. Oops, not like that, sorry. And instead of going out to the Atlantic like this, hugging the coast, it's that cut up. It will cut up like this to Pennsylvania. I think the latest GFS model has this thing going literally right over New York City, like that. So these we haven't seen in a while. The last time I seen a storm like that brought rain from DC all the way to Boston was in 2012, I think. We're not in the type of pattern that supports an all-rain event for New York City and Boston. We're not. I think you're going to start out as snow in most areas, possibly change over to rain in New York City, sleet, freezing rain. DC, Baltimore, definitely going over to rain. But listen, if this storm, look at these lines that they're flat and they're starting to curve up now across New York City. Let's go in time now. See, there's really no support of this storm. There's no evidence that this storm is gonna, as of now, this could definitely change. But right now, there's no support that this storm is gonna head out like this and hug the coast. There's no evidence. It really looks like this is gonna be a cutter, cut up like this. Because these lines, notice these lines. always say these lines determine which way the storm will go. I always say it, and I still agree with myself. This is most likely going to be a cutter, but this can definitely change. Don't get me wrong. We can still see the storm head offshore and bring a big snowstorm from Boston to New York City. It's not looking good, but it's still possible. Alright, so now I'm going to show you my maps. I'm going to do a quick outline of what I think was going to happen with this next storm. It's going to come through if this loads. Here. Alright, here we go. Let's get my writing. So let's say this storm comes up across New York City like that. Well, that type of storm track, if that happens, it will produce this. It'll be an all snow event for western Pennsylvania in these areas. It'll be an all snow event all the way back here down to Cincinnati, Columbus, most of Kentucky, West Virginia. These are the areas that are going to be all snow throughout the whole thing. In between this, let's get my pink out now. In here, nope, I want that. I want pink. Let's find pink. Here we go. In between this area, it will be a mix. Start off as snow, going over to a mix. Really not going to be rain, so it'll be snow going over to a mix. Maybe even rain at times. And then down here, across southern New Jersey, the Jersey Shore, Virginia, DC, this area, Boston as well, New York City, Long Island. Gonna start off as snow, change briefly to sleet, freezing rain, and go over to rain. If this track holds. Do I think it's gonna happen? As of now, I do. But remember, if this storm heads a little bit further offshore, and it's able to cut up in the Atlantic Ocean, if it's able to cut up like this, head a little bit offshore, and cut up, then yes, I think there could be possibility for a big snowstorm across this area. But if it takes that track, Boston, you're in rain. You're seeing rain. If that's the case, I don't think so right now. I really, really like what I just showed you right now. Again, it's too early to forecast. I gave you a broad view of what I think is going to happen, but this can definitely change. Alright, so first snow threat this Wednesday. Late, watch out, eastern Kentucky, eastern Ohio, and western Pennsylvania. Watch out for quick thumping, 1 to 3 plus inches is possible. And the New York City Metro, Philadelphia Metro, Boston Metro as well. Snow squalls likely, and could dump a quick inch. And a bigger storm this Saturday. I do not have a lot of information. I will as the days go on. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. Follow me on Twitter at NYC Weather News.